Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhare Jashodanandanam Radhanarandana Yamunatira Vanatari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gadadhara Gokulananda Gokulananda Radhe, Sitaram Jai Sitaram, Sitaram Jai Lakshman Hanuman. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Sisi Gaurnitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Thai Gauri Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Danam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'd like to express my heartfelt joy to be here at Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda K. And also having the wonderful association of the wonderful devotees, beautiful deities, beautiful devotees. And also today is a very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Gadadhar Pandit K. And also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Who is Gadadhar Pandit? Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Narad Muni, that's to Narad Muni, I think. Satyam satyam punaha satyam. Satyam satyam eva punaha. Satyam satyam. I'm telling you the truth. Satyam satyam punaha satyam. Again and again. Satyam satyam eva punaha. Eva means certainly. Again and again I'm telling you, Narad Muni. Bina Radha prasadena mad prasado na vidyate. Without the blessing, without the prasadam, without the mercy of Radha Rani, no one can get my mercy. And that is told Narad. Krishna is telling to Narad Muni. Few times, Satyam, Satyam, this is the truth, this is the only truth I'm telling you. Again and again I'm telling you, certainly only truth, again and again. He's using the word punaha. Punaha means again and again. Eva means certainly, Narad Muni. And 2 times he has been saying that without the mercy of Radharani, no one can get my mercy. So, Bina Radha Prasadena, Bina means without Radharani's mercy, Mad Prasado na vidyate, one will not achieve my mercy. So when the Lord has come to this world in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, called Panchatattvatmakam. This is Lord in 5 features, right? Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhaktarupa, Sarupakam, Bhaktavataram, Bhaktakyam, Namami, Bhaktasaktikam. Is the Lord in 5 features. So, Panchatmakam Krishnam. This is the Pancha Atma, come Krishna. Means Krishna Rupa Sarupakam. Krishna comes in the form of a devotee, incarnated. Bhaktavataram, also incarnated. He expanded as a devotee, and he incarnated as a devotee. Bhaktavataram. And Bhaktakyam, he comes as a devotee. Bhaktakyam. Bhakta Shaktikam. Sakti means he is the energy of the Lord. Saktikam is energy of the Lord, and the one who gave energy to the devotees. That's the meaning. Bhakta Saktikam. Shakti. Shakti means Srimati Radha Rani. But here in that case, it comes as Gadadhar Pandit, right? Gadadhar Pandit. So is an expansion of Srimati, because Krishna comes in the form of a sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all the female means the associates of Krishna and Vrindavan comes in the form of male body, right? So Radha Rani becomes Gadadhar Pandit. As a question, if Krishna himself is Radha and Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahe Anya. So what is the need for Gadadhar Pandit? Right? If Krishna himself is Radha and Krishna. So the point is, Gadadhar Pandit is the embodiment, of that bhava of Krishna, who has come in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in the bhava of Srimati Radharani. And that's bhava is also represented by Gadadhar Pandit. He was such a great devotee. Gadadhar Pandit was actually, in fact, associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the beginning. I think they were schoolmates also. They were going to school together. They were unseparated. Gadadhar and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot be separated. But there was a contrast. Mahaprabhu was very, like Krishna, naughty, and but Gadadhar was very, very quiet person, silent, quiet, respectful, serious, That was the mood of Gadadhar Pandit. And so he was there on many occasions. They were together. One time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was in ecstasy. He was in ecstasy, and he was actually so much ecstasy that he would be rolling on the ground, dancing and chanting, and sometimes he would be also scratching his body, tearing his chest apart. This was the ecstasy that Mahaprabhu had. And then Mahaprabhu is asking Gadadhar Pandit, where is that blackish boy? Please tell me. And devotees were afraid to approach Mahaprabhu because he was just in such an ecstasy. Even his mother was afraid to approach him. And then Gadadhar Pandit told Mahaprabhu, he said, this blackish boy is in your heart. See, he's there in your heart. Wearing his yellow dhoti. By hearing this, then Mahaprabhu became pacified. Lord is my heart, yes, he's here. And then Sachimata saw that this action of Gadadhar Pandit, she was very pleased. This boy is very intelligent. And he knows how to pacify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he told Gadadhar Pandit, he always remain with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You always stay with him. Never leave him. Because I'm scared when he become ecstatic, And I'm scared, can rip off his body, tearing his chest like that. So you always remain with him. You can pacify him. They were inseparable. Although Gadadhar Pandit, he also took Kshetra Sannyas. Because see, our mood in our Krishna consciousness is love, highest love in separation is highest than love in union. So Gadadhar Pandit, because Mahaprabhu when left, many of the associates also went to the side of Jagannath Puri to associate with him. So when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he went to Jagannath Puri. And there Gadadhar Pandit also was there. He took Kshetra Sannyas, Kshetra Sannyas means one who goes to stay in the Kshetra, means in the holy dham, took a vow to never leave the dham. Many devotees like that, who took vow of Kshetra Sannyas, who never leave. We have the case of our Ahindra Prabhu, who was there in Vrindavan for many, many years. This kind of Kshetra Sannyas. And also Gadadhar Pandit, he took that Kshetra Sannyas to never leave, took the vow to never leave the dham, holy dham of Jagannath Puri. But yet, one time when Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, Gadadhar Pandit wanted to go with him. He was crying, he was rolling on the ground. No, I must come with you, I must come with you. I will come with you to Vrindavan. Mahaprabhu said, no. You have taken Kshetra Sannyas, you cannot leave. It would be an offense if I allow you to do that, to come with me. This is not correct, you should stay here. And Gadadhar Pandit said, but wherever you are, my Lord, wherever you are, it is a Kshetra. It is a holy place, holy dham. So I'm still keeping my vow. By being with you, always with you, I'm still keeping my vow because wherever you are is a holy dham. So this is not an offense. Please, I want to come with you. So he went to some extent, some distance with Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu turned back and said, no, you cannot come. I'll become responsible for that. You're going to break your vow. So you cannot come with me. You go back. And then Gadadhar Pandit fell and conscious fell down because he cannot go with Mahaprabhu. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was there. He could see that intense love of both Gadadhar Pandit and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took Gadadhar Pandit back. And Gadadhar Pandit was staying in where's the place? Jagannath Puri? Tota Gopinath. Yeah, he was residing there. Tota Gopinath, the garden of Gopinath. Tota means garden, right? Tota Gopinath. The deities Gopinath there. He was serving the deity Gopinath there. And there he was serving. And it is explained that it was his deity that when Mahaprabhu left, many acharyas also left this world. Right? Not because of disease, due to separation from Mahaprabhu. Many of them, very young, they left, one after the other, when Mahaprabhu left. It's not easy to remain alive when the Lord lived. This is also in the case of Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, he understood, he is a Ram Bhakta, he understood that the Lord is going to leave, he's going to leave the world very soon. He's going to end his pastime. And one day Murari Gupta, he was looking for a knife. I was looking for a knife. No, he got it already. He had kept it somewhere, secret. What to do? To give up his life. Yeah, he wanted to give up his life. To kill himself, to give up his life. Before Mahaprabhu leave this world. That was the idea. And on that day itself, Mahaprabhu came to his house. He said, Murari Gupta, can you give me this knife? He said, can you give me this knife that you're keeping? And Murari Gupta was shocked, He said, you cannot do that. You cannot kill yourself. You cannot commit suicide. Because Murari Gupta wanted to leave, because when the Lord leaves his body, it's very, very painful to remain. Separation. What is according to Ramananda Rai, what is the most painful situation for a devotee? Separation from the devotees. Some mundane people may say, when I'm separated from my wife, or my children's, my business money, But he is saying separation of devotees, when we are away from devotees, that's the most painful situation in this world, So, but we've seen that many devotees also, after Mahaprabhu left, they also left this world, young age. So Gopinath, Gadadhar also, he was worshipping Gopinath, but at one point he became so weak due to separation of Mahaprabhu. He could not offer the garland. He was offering the garland daily to Gopinath. So understanding that Gadadhar Pandit is not able to stand and offer the garland to me, so the Lord sat down, I think that's the only deity we see that in the whole world, right? Lord is sitting. Most of the temple, the Lord is standing. But there in Tota Gopinath temple, the Lord is sitting there to allow Gadadhar Pandit to offer him the garland, And it's also explained in that deity, there is on the knee, there is a crack. And it is said that Mahaprabhu also disappeared from that. Yeah, correct. Right. Mahaprabhu left this world going through this crack of the knee of Tota Gopinath. Let's explain a few sources, three ways where Mahaprabhu left. One in the knee. Second, Jagannath, entered Jagannath. And third one? Waves of the ocean. Yes, he went into the wave of the ocean. The other three ways he left this world. So, yes, and he was lamenting when Mahaprabhu left. Most of the acharyas, Srivas Thakur, he's Srinivas Acharya. Yes, Srinivas Acharya. Was a very good friend with Narottam Das Thakur. He went to Jagannath Puri for the first time when he was young. He was already wanted to go and see Mahaprabhu. He was about 15 years old. He came to Jagannath Puri. So when he came to Jagannath Puri, he was told that Mahaprabhu had already left. And he fell down crying and conscious, was willing to meet Mahaprabhu since a long time. But when it was time for him to travel, to visit, he heard Mahaprabhu left. And what he did, he just put the piles of wood now to burn his body. Can you imagine? Separation. What's the use of living in this world without the Lord, without Mahaprabhu? He put a pile of wood and trying to burn his body. Mahaprabhu came to his dream and said, don't do that. No. You should go to Gadadhar Pandit and then hear Bhagavatam from him. Who can speak better than Gadadhar Pandit? He is Srimati Radha Rani. So you go and hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. He will speak to you. He will read Bhagavatam for you. So Srinivas Acharya went to Gadadhar Pandit to hear Bhagavatam. And Gadadhar Pandit told him, yes, I can read Bhagavatam, but you need to have a new copy of Bhagavatam. My old copy, what happened to it, I was reading due to tears falling from his eyes, and he fell on the book. and the writing became blood. Cannot read. So you need, this is due to separation from Mahaprabhu. When he was reading, he was profusely crying and tears was flowing from like cascade, Yamuna cascade, right? And the books became wet, blurred, cannot see, cannot read now anymore. Go and then get a new copy, Bhagavatam. Srinivas Acharya went to get a copy. And when he came back, what happened when he came back? He got the news, Gadadhar Pandit also left the world. Can you imagine? Gadadhar Pandit had left the world. And he was crying, Srinivas Acharya, very profusely. And then he went to his Siksha Guru, Narahari Sarkar, and Narahari Sarkar told him now he should go to Vrindavan and associate with the six Goswamis. He also came to Vrindavan. There also he was told that Sanatana and Rupa had already left the world, one after the other. They all left. It's all because of Mahaprabhu's also left the world. It's so painful. So, but Gadadhar Pandit, of course, very much absorbed, and she's also Srimati Radha Rani serving there, Tuta Gopinath. And Gadadhar Pandit, it was I think one time what happened is Vallabhacharya, in fact, he was a contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came to Gadadhar Pandit. He wanted to ask some question from Gadadhar Pandit, So, and Gadadhar Pandit told him, if you want to ask a question, you go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ask a question. He will give you the answer. So Vallabhacharya asked Gadadhar Pandit, that question what he asked was, if we are female, soul is female by nature, the Lord is male. In the Vedic culture, the wife does not call the husband by his name. Right? Vedic culture. Nowadays changed. According to Vedic culture, the wife does not call the husband by his name. So, why are you calling the Lord by his name? Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Sigonithai ki. Why are you calling the husband who is the Lord Krishna by his name? If you're female by nature, the soul, why do you call the Lord by his name? And Gadadhar Pandit, he could not say anything. He said, go and ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Go and ask him. So Vallabhacharya went and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have a question. Mahaprabhu would always try to avoid. But at the end, Mahaprabhu said, okay, what's your question? So why do you call the husband, Krishna is the husband, Jagatpati, Pati means the husband, yeah. Is Jagatpati, Vaikuntapati, not Karorpati, but he's more than that, right? He's Lakshmipati, more than Karorpati. Vaikuntapati, Jagatpati. So why do you call him by his name? And the answer Mahaprabhu gave. Every time he would come to challenge Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu would defeat him. He would go back. He said, yes, it is true that one should call, the wife should call the husband not by his name. That is true. But if the husband allows the wife to call him by his name, if the husband tell her to call him by his name, if the husband permit, the wife to call him by his name, then he should call by his name. If not, then she would be considered unchaste, right? according to Vedic culture, yes, if the wife is calling the husband by his name, that's anches, right? But Mahaprabhu is saying here, if the husband is telling the wife to call me by my name, if she doesn't call, then she is unchaste, would be considered unchaste. So the Lord has allowed us to call him by his name, right? So if we don't call him, then it is an aparad, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You know, that's why we call him by his name. You know, and Vallabha Acharya was defeated. He went back. He was defeated. Another time he came again. He was asking another question. You know all that. You all know that about. He actually he wanted to read commentary. He wanted to show Mahaprabhu that he knows a lot on Bhagavatam. His commentary is better than Sridhar Swami's commentary, you know, because he is not agreeing with the commentary of Sridhar Swami. And Mahaprabhu said, one who is not agreeable with the Swami, he is considered to be what? A prostitute. You know, he's a prostitute. Right? That's what Mahaprabhu said. It was, of course, jokingly also he was saying that. And then he was defeated. He would go back. So this is Gadadhar Pandit. He was initiated, I think, by Pundarik Vidyanidi. You know, there's Mukunda Datta, who was always, would always, whenever a pure devotee, whenever there is a Mahajan would come, Mukunda Datta would take Gadadhar Pandit to meet that Mahajan. So they went to see Pundarik Vidyanidi. You know, Pundarik Vidyanidi, he was behaving, or he was a great devotee. He was such a pure devotee that he would look like an ordinary mundane person. The way he was dressing, you know, costly silk dress with costly also rings and all these ornaments. You know, he was also eating pan, you know, pan patta. And so when Gadadhar Pandit went to his place, and Mukunda Dutt said, this is a pure devotee, let's go and see him. And when Gadadhar Pandit saw him, he was shocked. Is this a pure devotee? Look at what he's dressing. Costly silk, you know, jewelry everywhere. and then he was eating pan. How can he, a pure devotee? He was shocked. He was like surprised. And Mukunda Datta already understood what's happening in the mind of Gadadhar Pandit. You know, Mukunda Datta already understood that maybe he doesn't understand. Let me do something to prove that he is a pure devotee. And then Mukunda Datta started to recite some verses from Bhagavatam. Aho Bhakiyam. Right, in that verse, Aho Bhakiyam Kalakutam, right? Kalakutam, yeah, that's a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And as soon as Pundarik Vidyanidi heard about this verse, started to roll on the ground and crying and shivering and screaming. And he broke his pots, spitting pots, you know. He took them, you know, scratching his body, is rolling on the ground. I mean, that verse speaks about the same verse that was used also to bring back Sukadeva Goswami, right? Aho Bhakiyam. Bhaki means Putana. Bhaki. Bakasur is sister. Bhaki, Putana is a sister, right? So Baka and Bhaki. That's Putana. There are two brothers. The other one. Agasur, yes. Agasur, Bakasur and Putana, same family. Sister and two brothers. Same nature, right? Bhakiyam. So means that Putana, who's come to actually kill Krishna, smearing poison in the breast and the milk also. And Krishna drink that milk by sucking the life of Putana. But then gave Putana the position of a mother. And the verse explains, who is not going to worship that kind of merciful Lord? Right? Who will not worship that Lord? Who gave a position, who gave liberation as a position of a mother in the spiritual world, who had come to kill him. Putana came to kill Krishna. You know? But acting like a mother, and Krishna gave her the position of a mother. But same like Yashoda. Same like Yashoda, but with awe and reverence. You know? So who is not going to worship that Lord? This is same verse that was used when Sukadeva Goswami left. As soon as he was born, he went to the forest. Right? And then Vyasadeva was calling him back. He was crying, oh my son, please come back, come back. I was waiting for you since 16 years. Now as soon as you landed, you just left, going to the forest. Please come back. And then Vyasadeva had sent some of his disciples to the forest. And they recited this same verse. And Sukadeva would hear that verse, and then after hearing that verse, he would return. Yes, because Sukadeva was a Brahmavadi, right? Brahmavadi, not Mayavadi, but Brahmavadi. There's a difference, Brahmavadi and Mayavadi. Mayavadi think that everything is Maya, right? Expansion is Maya, avatar is Maya, Lila is Maya, name is Maya, everything is Maya. Money is Maya. The Brahmavadis may not believe in the form, but they don't criticize, right? Right. So these are called Brahmavadis. And they also have realized Brahman. Yes, it's true. That's why they're called Brahmavadis. So then he came back. And here the same verse was recited by Mukunda Datta. And after hearing that verse, Pundarik Vidyanidi, he completely transformed. Start to, breaking the pots, rolling on the ground, and tearing off this new costly silk dress apart, And then he was in that mood. And then Gadadhar Pandit understood, oh my God. Just by hearing that verse, he was transformed, he was in trance, and immediately understood, yes, he's a pure devotee. Although outwardly he looks like a mundane person, but inwardly he was pure devotee. Maybe we are the other way, right? We may be the other way. Externally we may be like devotee, internally so many anarthas, right? It's like what's the name of this demon? Vitrasur. Vitrasur that was killed by Indradev. Externally he was looking like a demon. He was a demon, Vitrasur. Right? And Vishnu had made plan how to kill him. He was a demon, great demon. But internally he was a pure devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord. Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam praising. In other Puranas, this story is there. The story of Vitrasur, other Puranas, many other Puranas, also that story is there. But in other Puranas, the glorification is of Indradev, his power to kill Vitrasur. But in Bhagavatam praising Vitrasur, although a demon, because he said he's a great devotee. He wanted to be killed by Vishnu. And he knew that was the plan of Vishnu to kill him by Indra. Right? So, externally, it looks like he was a mundane person with all these costly silk dresses, jewelry, also all over his body, the pan, patta, and the spitting pots, But after hearing that verse, he fell in ecstasy. He was dancing. He was crying, and all the symptoms. It's explained that all the symptoms, the 8 symptoms, came to him. And then Gadadhar Pandit was thinking that maybe I have committed an offense now. How am I going to pacify him? How am I going to rectify myself for this offense? And then he said the only way to rectify that, to beg for forgiveness, because I was thinking he's a mundane person. To beg for forgiveness, the only way is to take initiation from him. So he surrendered to Pundarik Vidyanidi, and then he took initiation from Pundarik Vidyanidi. He was his spiritual master. So this is how the story of Gadadhar is Shakti, Srimati Radha Rani. Gadadhar Pandit ki. I don't think I have time for others. Maybe you can ask some question if you have some question. Yeah. Okay, all right, good.
Maharaj, I've got one question related to Gadadhar Pandit. Can I ask now?
Yeah.
Or later on?
Yes.
So I've heard from some devotees singing Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More, that after some lines they've added one line, Gaurangera Nija Shakti Pandit Gadadhar. I've never heard that before. Have you heard any time? Gaurangera Nija Shakti Pandit Gadadhar.
Yeah, I have seen that. I have seen it in some places. They have added. It was added. It was added because originally it was not there. Because I have not sung it, so I would not be able to. You can say again. You can sing that. I have seen that. Yes. Yes. Pandit Gadadhar. Yes, Nija Shakti.
Gaurangera Nija Shakti
Pandit
Gadadhar.
Yes, the meaning it's clear. The meaning is clear. It's Shakti. Shakti. Huh? Intimate, yeah. Nija. Intimate Shakti. That's Srimati Radha Rani. That's the meaning. Yeah. It's very clear. Shakti.
Thank you.
Bhaktavataram Bhakta Saktikam. Sakti. That's the last one is Shakti. Bhakta Saktikam. That's Srimati Radha Rani.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, in the past which you narrated, and that because Gadadhar Pandit had committed an offense, so he accepted him as a spiritual master, right? Sometimes what happens is we also commit an offense, but we don't have this option of accepting devotee as a spiritual master. So what is the best course of action we should take for the rectification of our mistake?
First of all, one should. So the first, the number one offense is to commit. What's the first one? To blaspheme devotees who have dedicated life. That's number one. Especially to the preachers who have dedicated life for propagating. That's meant for the preachers also. Right? The only way is to approach the devotee, beg for forgiveness. There's no other way. Nahi paritran. If we offend the Lord, how do we counteract that? By Harinam, by chanting His name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. There's no remedy, but of finding a Vaishnava, there is no nahi paritran, means there is no remedy for that. Only to go and beg for forgiveness from that same devotee by becoming humble. In the case of what's the name? Srivas Thakur, when Devananda Pandit was reciting Bhagavatam in the assembly of devotees, Srivas Thakur was there, and he was also in ecstasy when he was hearing the pastime of Krishna. He started to dance in the assembly, in the hall. And the followers of Devananda Pandit came and just pulled him back, just took him out, kicked him out. So when Mahaprabhu heard about it, he said, "What does Devananda Pandit know about Bhagavatam? He speaks Bhagavat, but offending another Bhagavat. Who is Srivas Thakur? Narad Muni, right? Great Bhagavata. So he's reading Bhagavatam, but offending another Bhagavat. What does he know about Bhagavat? It's a great offense. But he did repent for his offense by serving Gadadhar Pandit, right? Begging. He served. Then Mahaprabhu was pleased when Mahaprabhu saw him. He was serving Gadadhar Pandit by helping him to dance, because Gadadhar Pandit was dancing for 72 hours at a time, so he'll be dancing. He was helping him to dance. Then Mahaprabhu was pleased. Said, now, first Mahaprabhu said he will not get love of Godhead by offending Srivas Thakur, because he's a great Mahajan. Now, he will not get love of God. In the beginning he said that. But at the end then he said, after seeing that he was serving Gadadhar Pandit nicely to dance, and then Mahaprabhu said, now he's been pacified from his offense. Yeah, of course, we don't do that, but we offending Vaishnava, which first of all, we should not offend Vaishnavas. Right? This is considered to be like a hatimata, the offense of the mad elephant. Hare Krishna. Other question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. You were mentioning about, so externally one may look like a devotee, internally, like that. So how can we be more authentic in our, like a character?
Appearance of dealing, right?
Yeah, and like there's, Keshav Maharaj once mentioned that there's the invisible things that we don't always work on in devotional life. What are these invisible and visible things, and how can we distinguish it, and how can we be more aligned with our inner, like that?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the best solution. He said, Trinaripi Sunichena Tororipi Sahistana Amani Namana Dena Kirtanya Sadahari. But to be humble also is not easy, right? One devotee wrote to Prabhupada. He told Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. He told Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Prabhupada said, you are not the most of anything. But to be fallen also is a very high thing, right? To consider oneself fallen. We write, when we write a letter, what do you write? You're fallen soul. We say we are fallen. But when somebody tells us you're fallen, you fool, you fallen, and we become angry, right? We say we are fallen, but somebody chastises us and become angry, right? It's external. That's why Prabhupada said, you know the most of anything. I heard at one time Radha Rani Swami Maharaj, he wrote a letter to his parent when he went to India. He was living in a cave. So Maharaj wrote a letter, and as in ISKCON we write at the end, what do we write? Your most fallen soul, Radha Swami. And that letter was written to his parent, and the parent was reading that, and they became upset. What? We have spent so much money for your education, that's all what you can become? Most fallen. They were very upset about it. But Mahaprabhu also, he said, Narottam Das Thakur, what did he say? What is the second line? You're saying, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Karo More, Tuma Bina Ke Dayalu, Jagat Samsare, and then? Patita Pavana Hetu, Tavatar, Musamo Patita Prabhu, Nampai Biyar. I'm the most fallen. You will never find anyone more fallen than me. So my claim is first. So the criteria to get the mercy of the Lord is one has to be fallen. This is why Mahaprabhu is saying, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahistana, Amaninamanadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Not easy also to become on the platform. The only thing is you have to carry out the instruction of a spiritual master. You know, serving the spiritual master, whatever he's saying. You cannot pretend to be advanced. Even service is most important. When one time Daruka was serving. Daruka is the driver, you know, Krishna's chariot. And then he was fanning Krishna. So when he was fanning Krishna, tears was also coming out, flowing from his eyes. And he was cursing the tears. He was like, what are you doing? This is stopping me, preventing me to do my service. Right? So that, I mean, the goal of practicing Krishna consciousness to achieve prema, right? So there's premas coming, tears are flowing, that is bhav. But what is he saying? Obstructing my service. The service is more important. We just have to engage in service instead of following the instruction of a spiritual master. You know? We cannot also pretend to be advanced, also most fallen. Prabhupada said, you're not the most of anything. We cannot claim also, I'm the most fallen. Because sometimes when devotees would be telling us, you're the most fallen, you're a fool, then we become angry. No. That's a test, right? Yeah. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. You got the mic?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, you mentioned the like how Putana and all these demons. I was thinking like what is the significance of, like how Krishna liberated them, these demons. Yeah, they also like, they were acting like not in a very best way, but is it just a lila? How should we better understand that? Maybe like yeah, because he also put like Putana as a mother, but Yashoda, Mother Yashoda was like mother. So what's the how should we better understand this? Because it's not quite fair, like yeah. Sorry for the question. I just wanted to better understand.
Yes, Lord is merciful. And I think Putana was she was the sister or wife of Bali Maharaj? Sister? Yeah. When Lord Vamandev went to Bali Maharaj to beg for 3 steps of land, right? And then he has promised, because seeing Brahmana coming, so even they are the demons, they're very good in giving dan. You know, Bhagavad explained, giving donation. Even Ravana, they all know that by giving donation, they will get more. You know, they are good dani. They give donation. So Bali Maharaj saw that Brahmana. He said, "I will give him some donation. What do you want?" He asked for 3 steps of land, right? And he said, "That's all. You can ask for more, for village, for big towns, and for wife. Why are you asking only for 3 steps to the size of my foot?" He said, No, that's enough. If the senses is not controlled, then if one is giving the whole universe, is never enough. That's okay for me. And so, okay, make your measurement, and the first measurement is covered the earth, second was universe, and there was no space to keep the 3rd step. And he said to put it on my head, put it on his head. Surrendered Atma Nive Dhanam. But then the Lord arrested him also, tied him with the ropes of Varuna, of that snake. Vasuki. Yes. So, now this is a point also. His surrender is given. Why the Lord had to arrest him also? I said another question. He had surrendered, had given everything, but why was the importance for the Lord to bind him? This question was asked by Parishit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami said that just to, sometime the Lord would try to humiliate his devotee and to see how his devotee is so tolerant. Despite humiliating him, he was tolerant. That's to show that power of his devotee. So when he took his everything from Bali Maharaj, his sister, seeing Bali Vamandev, she was attracted. She wanted to feed by this beautiful boy. She had a desire to feed baby, Krishna. So that was a desire. But then when she actually saw that Vamandev had arrested Bali Maharaj, his brother, and then that sister became upset. And that desire to kill that baby, Vamandev, came to her mind. So 2 desires were there. And that was completed by this Leela. First is to feed baby Krishna, and second is to kill. So that 2 desires were actually fulfilled in that pastime of killing Putana. And actually she got the position of a mother. Mother, say it's equal to like Yashoda, but there is one little difference is there. She was also like mother, serving Krishna in the spiritual world, but with awe and reverence. That's the only difference she had. Not complete. No one can become Yashoda. Is there anybody who can become like Yashoda? No one. Only Yashoda is Yashoda. Right? So, but Yashoda is serving Krishna not with own reverence. Is completely serving. Like a mother, full-fledged, Vatsalya Bhav. Full-fledged, Vatsalya Bhav. But Putana, in the spiritual world, she got the position of a mother serving Krishna, but not full-fledged, Vatsalya Bhav. Right? So, but that's the mercy of Krishna. Whoever comes to Krishna, they become liberated. That's the mercy. That's the greatness of God. Yes, a question here.
Can you explain the meaning of the verse in the Shiksashtakam? Natahanam najanam nasundaram kavitam bhajagatichak kamaye mama janmani isvar bhavatad bhakti ahitukui divaya. He says that I don't want women, I don't want followers, I don't want money, I don't want anything but your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. And he's saying, even it seems that that he's saying that birth, even our goal is not to necessarily to be with Krishna in his planet, but as long as we've got service. Can you explain that?
Yes. Na dhanam, na janam. No wealth. Don't want wealth. Money. No wealth, because wealth also create obstacle in devotional service. So much wealth. Lord Brahma said, after he was defeated by Krishna, after trying to allure Krishna, bewilder Krishna, he was himself bewildered by stealing the cows and the boys. So then after he got realization, he said that if one is not Krishna conscious, his wealth become his own thieves. Brahmaji said, his own wealth become thieves, chor. Stealing his own property himself, because wealth will steal our property. Our wealth will steal our wealth. What's our real wealth? Golokera premadhan harinam sankirtan will prevent us from enjoying our real wealth. He said like that. And the house is transformed like a jail. And the family members become like handcuffed. You know, handcuffed? It's called handcuff, right? All right. Brahmaji said. That's why Mahaprabhu is saying, na dhanam. You know? Na janam means also followers. Jan means followers. I don't want wealth, I don't want followers. You'll see also in our sampradaya, some of the acharyas, they don't accept disciple. Yes, Mahaprabhu's Siksashtakam. We have like Gaurushadas Babaji Maharaj. He never wanted to accept any disciple. That's Mahaprabhu's Siksashtakam. Na janam, no followers. Who else? Lokanath Goswami also. Right? That is fine. You know? Accepting disciple is also okay, because they have to initiate. If they don't initiate disciple, then how will they go back to Godhead? We also seen in our sampradaya, in our movement ISKCON, some gurus they don't some sannyasis also guru, they don't accept disciple because of Mahaprabhu. Na dhanam, na janam, no followers. Na sundarim, no beautiful woman. Like even Prabhupada, you know, Prabhupada was married to to his wife. Prabhupada was not so happy about. Prabhupada said she's not so beautiful. And Prabhupada's father said, that's good. Then you can renounce one day, become sannyasi. You know, so. And then what he said, Janma Janmani Suri Bhakti Bhavate Bhakti Ahetukitva. Yes. Means that causeless devotional service, birth after birth. You know? Not even liberation. Right? Sometimes devotees want to be liberated. Liberation. But liberation is a servant. Mukti Devi becomes a servant of the devotee, one who is practicing devotional service. The Mayavadis think that liberation is the highest. For them, liberation is the highest. But when Rupa Goswami said, one who is engaging in devotional service is already liberated. So that liberation is not the ultimate. So even if one goes back to Godhead, but the most important is what? To engage in devotional service. Moksha laguta krit means devotion. Mukti goes to the devotee's doors. And is any service for me? So that's why he's saying, not even liberation, is because it's not the highest. Birth after birth. Whatever the devotees are, even in this world, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, even if I have to take birth again, even if I have to take birth again in this world, of course, he's not going to take birth. He's a pure devotee. He's a seventh Goswami, right? So he said, even if I have to take birth again, but allows me to take birth in the house of the, even as a worm, but in the house of the devotee. Why? Even as a worm in the house of the devotee, so that he can get the remnants of the devotees. He can hear the kirtan going on in the house. So, you see why Mahaprabhu is saying birth after birth, whatever I am, but most important is service. So, is staying with the Lord, yes, is not more important than service. Right? As we have seen in the case of the abridged Basis, they were away. When the wives of the Brahmanas, they wanted to be with Krishna, they took all the pots of the food, they went in to serve Krishna. They left home. They took all the pots when they heard that Krishna has come. Krishna and Balaram, they were hungry. So the wives of the Brahmanas, they took all the pots and went to Krishna with the aim of never come back. Leaving home, never to come back. So they went there and then they offered Krishna the food. And then Krishna noticed that they are not going back. Krishna said, why not going back? You should go back. It's not good to be with me here. And the lady said, Krishna, you've said yourself, Sarva Dharman Paritaja. So we have done it. You yourself said that in Bhagavad Gita. So we have left everything. And Krishna said, no, not like that. You should go back. It's not good to be with me. And then he said, very interesting point. He said, you go back because they are afraid to go back, right? They'll be chastised. No, because they've left home. So you go back and you keep a murti of mine. And then you do Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. That's verse. So he said, this is being equal to be with me. Same. Keep the murti and do Sravanam Kirtanam. This is equal to be as good as being with me. Same, Krishna said to them, told them. So devotees, grihastas, keeping murti at home, worshipping, is not just a speculation. Right? And Krishna is telling the ladies, the Brahmana's wife, that to keep the murti and worship me, this is as good as being with me. Means service is more important than trying to be with Krishna. Right? We have seen also Brahma, when Brahma was defeated, when he was trying to allure Krishna, he was himself bewildered. At the end, he said after his prayers to Krishna, Krishna did not even speak one word with him. You're begging for forgiveness from someone, and the person does not speak a single word. How would you feel, right? So, but Krishna was not so happy. Krishna was thinking, what is he doing here? When is he going to go? He's wasting my time, because I want to go and meet the gopas and the cows. But then Brahmaji said, my dear Lord, please allow me to leave. Give me a permission to leave now, I have to go. And Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur write a commentary there. He said, yes, Brahma should go from there. Because Brahmaji, he has to go back and to resume his service. What is the service of Brahmaji? Creation. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, he's saying that yes, he should go back to resume his service because this is not his rasa here. in Vrindavan, right? What is his rasa? He is to create. He has to go back and to do his service. That is his service to the Lord, right? So, yeah, that's it. Service is more important. Not even the tears of love, like Daruka was criticizing his tears, you know, is obstructing his service to Krishna. This is why Mahaprabhu is saying, you know, birth after birth, engage in, and not only service, but he's saying, what kind of service? Ahai Tuki. Ahai Tuki means what? Unmotivated devotional service. That's what he wants. Without any motive. Ahai Tuki. Ahai Tuki means unmotivated, undivided. There's so many words Prabhupada used for that. What are the words? Unmotivated, undivided, unalloyed. Alloyed means mixed, right? But unalloyed devotional service. In this world there is always mixing, right? Mixture. Always mixing. Everything is mixed nowadays, right? It's not pure gold. You mix something. It's up to you. You know? So no mixture. And what is that mixture? Karma and Anya Bilasita Sunyam. Anya Abhilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Jnana, Adik, Karma, all these yogas should be zero. Free from that. That is pure devotional service. Not free from karma and jnana, Astanga Yoga, everything. Free from that. It's pure devotion. Rupa Goswami has explained about pure devotion. Should be pure, unalloyed, and free from karma, free from jnana, should be also favorable. Should be favorable. Yes. Why should it be favorable? Because Kams Maharaj was also thinking of Krishna. But he's thinking of Krishna 24 hours. Right? 24 hours he was thinking of Krishna. But was that devotion? That was unfavorable. His intention was to kill Krishna. So devotion should be favorable, unalloyed, birth after birth. That Mahaprabhu is saying. Very wonderful verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I believe that's the end. And thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki. Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda ki. Sitaram Krishna Hanuman ki. Sri Gaunitai ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nidai Gaur Premanande. Now, if you do Asanga Yoga become complete when you mix with Bhakti. Without Bhakti, Asanga Yoga is useless. It becomes successful when if it is added.